First of all, I want to congratulate Cole and Jeff. I sent Jeff a text shortly after, I think it was actually before the championship match, and what an honor, what a proud feeling. The community is extremely happy for you, and the girls basketball team congratulates you from the bottom of our heart. That's awesome, and best of luck next year, Cole. I'm sure you're going to finish on top. I guess I want to thank Aaron Kaufman. There's a reason I want to thank Aaron Kaufman, because 8 years ago, I had no interest whatsoever in doing this job. And Aaron came to me when I was a middle school teacher, still am, and tried to talk me into taking this job. He tried 3 times to talk me into it. Apparently the third time was the charm there too, because on his third attempt, I finally said, okay, I'll try. It's been an amazing ride ever since the day I said, I guess I'll try. So thanks to Aaron for talking me into doing this. It's obviously well worth it when you're standing here today with these young ladies who have just won a state championship, so it's all worth it. My notes aren't very organized, so you're going to have to bear with me here. First of all, I want to thank a couple people that I didn't ask the seniors to thank. If you were a previous Lady Knight player, will you please stand up? You ladies were role models. I asked these kids sitting down here one day before I remember where we were going. I said, who was it that you looked up to? And you know, the names that came out probably weren't some of you that stood. Could have been, but some of you are a little older. But some of your names did come up, and to me, that's what it's all about. Having role models that these kids looked up to. I received a text from someone, and I sent a text out to them that said, you know, your name was brought up, you were a role model, and that player actually said, I've watched these kids play, and they're a role model to me, and that came from a previous player, and I think that's pretty special. That was Sarah Hammond. That's awesome. I want to take a second to thank my family. This has been an interesting year for me personally, and my family and friends have gotten me through this year. So I want to thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart for all you've done for me for this year. One other group of people that I want to thank. We spend hours upon hours upon hours scouting our opponents, many, many miles. Brian Best, will you please stand up? Brian has been with me since the beginning. And I think there were probably some people out there who thought he had an ulterior motive because he had a daughter on the team, but I'm pretty positive that there's no ulterior motive because his daughter graduated last year and he is still helping me. Thank you, Brian. Gary Ash is another person who's, I don't know if is Gary here today? I don't think so, but he when it comes tournament time, he's willing to travel across the ocean if I need him to scout. So thank you, Gary, if you're listening to this. I think that takes care of my thank yous. I want to just take a second to talk about this community and how proud we are. You know, Emily stood up and did that sportsmanship thing. You saw it on the screen, and I'm not going to be too critical, but the other team was actually booing her while she was doing it, and it's about sportsmanship. Our crowd, our fans, our student section is a class act. These ladies here are a class act. There's more to it than playing the game. It's about being good people, and everyone in this building that wears red, white, and blue, West Holmes, have good hearts, so that means a lot. I'm using the onboard a lot, am you counting?
Maybe.
Thank you to the coaching staff. We are an eclectic bunch of people. I couldn't do this, you know, Mark saying, Lisa. It's us. It's always been us. It will always be us. Thank you, all of you, for all of your help, all of your hours that you have committed to this team. When we're in the state championship game, We talk about 50-50 balls. I knew we were going to be okay because Peyton Struther said, they're not 50-50 balls, there are 100-0 balls. I knew we were going to be all right. That was a great comment, Bea. I appreciate your... I know when I look at Peyton, I know when she's ready to play. Mark mentioned that. If you look at Peyton's eyes, she is a competitor. The same is true of Emily and Lena. No one was going to take this away from them. They were going to go get it. Mark refers to our defense at one point as a python defense. You know, I thought, well, we probably can't match up with Kerry Holder very well. They're bigger than us at every position. We should probably play a zone. We got to keep them out of the paint. We got to keep my posts in there to rebound. Heck with those zones. You know, Tennille, we go take our little 6th graders to play, and people are playing zones, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you teach your kids to play zone defense? We played a lot of zone defense back in the day, didn't we? I mean, these kids can play man defense against 20-foot people, I'm convinced, and they would win. So I wised up, took me a little bit, but we switched to man, and things kind of turned from that point on. I'm going to talk for just a little bit about each of these groups of kids. Freshmen, will you stand up, please? Sammy, Casey, Kyla, you joined us partway through the season this year, and I think for you this is just a humongous learning experience. Hopefully you were able to take everything in. You tasted that little bit of sweetness of a state championship. You have been taught by 3 of the most phenomenal group of young ladies to ever go through here, and your captains and your seniors. So I hope you like the taste of this today, and you work hard to try to repeat this. Thank you, freshmen. Haley, Carissa, Natalie, and Kennedy, if you'll stand up next, please. These young ladies don't get a lot of credit, but they certainly make us better every single day in practice. They saw some time on the floor, not as much as others, but without them, you have to have role players on a team, and that's what they were. They did the things that we needed to do. They played defense, and they never complained one bit. They always did what we asked of them. Thank you, ladies. Hannah and Britt. Hannah and Britt are probably the most fearless, athletic, fun bunch of kids. Your future is so bright, you have no idea how good you two can be if you choose to be. And again, you've had tremendous role models, and I think you've molded yourself after some of these seniors. So the future is as bright as you want it to be. Thank you for all you've done this year. The Alex Brigade, as Mark refers to you. The 2 Alexes, what do you say about them? They do the dirty work. I call them quiet workhorses. They just do exactly what you ask of them. They do it with 110% effort, and they had to do it coming off the bench in the state tournament, and they're okay with that because we won a state championship. Those 2 would do anything for this team. Next year is going to be amazing, and you 2 are going to be the leaders. Thank you. Three seniors. Emily, Peyton, Lena. You guys have played in nearly every single varsity basketball game you could have possibly played in. Emily, the ball's been in your hands more than anyone else standing up here. Emily, you're the most focused, driven kid I've ever met in my entire life. You will be a success, I'm sure. And after whatever it is you're going to be, if it's a doctor, you're my doctor, okay? Peyton and Lena, I'm going to talk about you kind of together because you're the 2 goofballs. We've had many snowball fights. I've won most of them. We've had a cake fight that I lost. I will get you back. But your competitiveness, your desire, your heart, what you all three have done for this program cannot be measured. It cannot. You have no idea what you've done for this program. I know that all three of you are strong believers in God. I know that you pray a lot, and I'm pretty sure that He was looking out for you. You're multi-sport athletes. Not only are you successful in basketball, you've been successful. All three of you have been successful in other sports. You are the most amazing young ladies that I've had the ability to coach, and you are 101 wins and 9 losses in your high school career. A couple more just general comments about this team. This team was the only team at the state tournament to score over 100 points in a tournament game. This team is the only undefeated team in the entire state of Ohio. This team is the only team to go 29-0 in West Holmes history in a season. This team finished at the, I don't put much into the AP poll because I don't think it's always very valid. This year was pretty valid in Division II. Finished at the top of the AP poll, undefeated in the season, state champs. It doesn't get any better than that. I don't know if you'll realize it today, I don't know if you'll realize it tomorrow, but when you become Shane and I's age, you'll realize how important this is to you. Maybe someday your own daughters will come back and play. Let's see, I'm getting there, I'm getting close. I've talked to you guys before about if you want something, go get it. You went and got it. Nothing stopped you. Great moments are born from great opportunities. That's what you had. That's what you earned. You were perfect. I've talked to you before about be perfect. Be perfect means you want to look your teammates in the eyes and say, I gave everything I had. You were perfect. You are perfect young ladies. This community loves you. I love you. You're going to hang another banner up there, young ladies. You're West Holmes state champs, 29-0. Give them a round of applause.